He did. And he took a domestic duck that he named the Lone Ranger, and he carried it with him like a lot of guys do dogs or cats, and he had it in his arm all the time. Come to the beach with the Lone Ranger, stroke the Lone Ranger, and talk to him all the time in this weird language of his. And the Lone Ranger was just with him all the time. And he finally, at San Onofre, he'd take the duck by the body like he would a model airplane, and he'd run down the beach. You gotta hold this like a plane, but he didn't know how to fly. He was a duck. And so Larsen would hold it in the air, try to get a little wind, and then he'd give it a glide like you would a glider, and then would just nose that. And he would give a story at the San Onofre, and he'd say, the Lone Ranger at some point will fly. I will be sure. He did this for 2 years, up and down the beach, carried it, talked to it, persuaded him. Every now and then he'd get a little lift, and the duck would maybe go 10 yards, but it never really flew. He'd flap his wings and flap a lot, but nothing ever happened. And so, this was, I don't know when it was, in the 50s, Hobie, of course, had the store up here in Dana Point, and the Dana Point Harbor, there's no harbor here at all, and the cliff, the Dana Cliff, was, as you know, is a real high cliff still today, and if the wind would come offshore about twice a year onshore, hit that cliff, and blow up at, 20 knots or so. So one day, Larsen came in the Hobie shop and he said, today the Lone Ranger will fly. So we all get out of the car, we drive out to the point, and it's blowing so damn hard, you couldn't stand up. So we crawl out on our hands and knees to the edge of the cliff and just kind of peer over, and the wind is coming off the ocean, hit the cliff, and go straight up. And Larsen said, I got to test the wind. He's talking to the Lone Ranger. He had a 2x4 about 3 feet long. He threw the 2x4 down, and it went down for about 100 feet. And all of a sudden, look out, the damn 2x4 like a rocket ship. And Larsen said, yes, the Lone Ranger will fly again. And so we're all looking over the cliff. He tosses the Lone Ranger, and the duck has got his wings all tucked in. He's in a 9-feet fall. The thing's going straight down, and he's going to die on the rock. And he got about 20 feet off the rock, the big gust hit him, and that bucket duck and it landed on the other side of the coast highway. The Lone Ranger did fly.